Hello everyone, welcome back. I am Dr.E.Raju from Genius Mind Computer Academy. In today's video, we'll talk about how to convert list and tuple into an array. So we have two methods by which we can convert a list and tuple into an array. So these two methods are the first one using array module in which we have array method in that, and the second way is by using Numpy module. In this also, we have a method called as a array, which converts a list tuple into array. So we'll talk about these two ways of converting list and tuple into array. Okay, so we'll start with the first mechanism using array module. So before we convert into an array, let us first learn why we need to convert a list and tuple into array. Okay, so since list and tuple are a heterogeneous type, so sometimes in programming we need to convert these heterogeneous types into homogeneous types. That means elements of same data type. So these two are heterogeneous. So if we want to convert these heterogeneous type into homogeneous type, we need to use an array. Since array is a collection of elements of similar data types or homogeneous types. So when you want to make all elements are of same data type, then we need to use this array. Okay, so then array is the constructor that we use to convert heterogeneous elements into homogeneous types. Okay, so that's why we need to convert sometimes list and tuple into arrays. Okay, so first using array module, how we can convert a list and tuple into an array, we will see. So first we'll write the program directly. Okay, so you need to import this array module. You can directly import the array module in which we have array method. Okay, so if you want explicitly to use this array module, and if you want to convert that into array, then you have to call the array method by using this array module. So array dot array of, and then you have to pass a list as argument here. Okay, so two times you need to use this array. So if you want to avoid this using two times, so then you can use this way. What we can do is we can write like this. So from array module, now you can import the method directly. Okay, so now you can say import array. So this imports the method array into our program. Okay, so what we do is we read the list and tuple from the keyboard. Okay, so then I create a list variable called as L. Okay, so which reads a list of elements. Okay, so how to read? Now we use input function to read elements from the keyboard. Okay, so in the input function, we ask the user to enter list elements. List elements. Okay, so assume that the user enters the list elements in this manner: 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so this input method reads this as a string. Okay, so this entire thing is read as a string by the input method. So then we need to split this into individual data members. So that's why then we call the split function here, which splits this into individual data members. Okay, so then it's a split. So then it splits into individual data members, and these data members still they are in the form of a string only. So you need to convert them into integers, and you need to map them by using a map function. So this map function generates an iterator of individual elements, and that iterator will give to list method, which converts the given input into a list here. Okay, so close this, and one more parenthesis required here. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Okay, so here this input closed here, split method closed here. Okay, so we have two open parentheses here. So then I'm closing two closing parentheses here. Okay, so this is how the input is read from the keyboard, and that will be stored and converted into list by using this list method, and will be stored into L. Okay, so then your L contains the list in this form. So it will be stored in this form: 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this is how the input is converted into list. Similarly, we read a tuple from the keyboard. Okay, so we use the same notation. We want to convert the input into tuple. So call the tuple method, and then map the input into integers. So then say int, and call the input function. So input, then we'll say enter tuple elements. So here also we need to split into individual data members. So then call the split method. So close and close. For example, if the user enters the tuple 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so if the input of a tuple elements is like this, then this tuple method converts this into a tuple in this form. So it will be converted into 6, 7, 8, and 9. In this way, it is converted into tuple. So here, when you call this a split method, okay, so split method uses the white space as the separator here. By default, it uses this white space as the separator. If you have some other separator like comma, then you need to specify inside this split method. Okay, so since we enter the input by using white space as the separator, then writing the split in this way is okay. So now we have created a list and a tuple. Okay, so then we need to convert this list and a tuple into an array. Okay, so then here we convert the first one, we convert the list into array. Then I say array 1 is equals to, okay, so then I say array, and I'm using calling this a array method here. Okay, so array, the first argument should be the letter I, which indicates that the elements should be of a type integer type. Okay, so then the second argument is the list, which you want to convert into array. Okay, so this is how the array method can be called, and this array method converts this list. It converts this list of integers into an array and stores into a variable called as a array1. Similarly, I convert this tuple into an array. So then I use one more variable here, array2 is equals to, then say array. Here the first argument is the letter I, which indicates elements are of integer type, and the second argument is the variable which stored the elements of a tuple. Okay, so tuple variable name you need to specify. So this array method converts this tuple into an array and stores into a variable called as a array2. Okay, so now we'll print a original one and a converted one. Okay, so first I'm trying to print the original list here. Okay, so then I can say original list, then say comma, L is the original list. Then after conversion, then I print the array. After converting the list into array, then I print the elements of the array here. And they are stored in a variable called as a ARR1. So you specify the variable here. Then it prints the list converted into array. Similarly, we can print the original tuple here. Now I can say original tuple. Then specify the variable name here, comma, t. Then after converting a tuple into array, then we'll print the elements here. So after converting the tuple into array. Then give the variable. So where we have stored into a variable called as ARR2. So this prints the tuple after converting into array. Okay, so this is how we can write a simple Python program. So actually this using and everything should be in the same line here. Okay, so this is the Python program which converts a list and a tuple into array by using this array module. Okay, so by using this first method, we have converted a tuple and a list into array. Okay, so this is a simple Python program which converts a list and a tuple into an array. So here, what we are doing is we are reading the list and a tuple from the keyboard. So hope you understood. If you have any doubts, please leave in the comment section. So then we move on to the second method by using a Numpy module. Okay, so we can also use this Numpy module. Now, second method we'll talk about. I'll show the execution of both methods here. Okay, so first we will discuss how we can write a Python program. Okay, so using Numpy module. So here what we need to do is we need to import numpy. So instead of writing numpy every time, so you can use this as keyword numpy as a np. Okay. So then here directly I create the two lists, list and a tuple. I initialize them. Okay. Say I say lst is equals to, so directly I initialize the list here, say 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5. In previous method, we have seen how to read from the keyboard. Okay, so in this, we will try to learn how to initialize a list directly here. Okay, so similarly, I initialize a tuple here. Okay, so TP I can say, so TP is equals to, then I say 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So this way we can initialize a list and a tuple directly in our program. Okay. So now our aim is to convert them into array. Okay. So then first I convert the list into array. I declare a variable called as array1 is equals to, okay. So in NumPy, we have a method called as a array. So now you can call that method by using the notation np.array and pass the list as an argument. Similarly, we can convert the tuple into array and we'll store that array in a variable called as arr2. Okay. So now I say np.array and here I pass this tuple variable as an argument. Okay. So this array method converts the list into an array and stores into a variable called as a array1 here. And here this array method takes this tuple as a argument and converts that into an array and stores into a variable called as a array2. Okay. So now we'll print a original one and converted into array. After converting into array, how it looks like, we will print both of them as we did in a previous method. Okay, so first I am trying to print the original list. So original list I am trying to print here. The variable name is LST. Then after conversion, I try to print the array. So after converting the list into array. So where we have stored in a variable called as arr1. So pass that as an argument. Then we'll print the original tuple first. Then I print original tuple. Then we have stored in a variable called as TP. Okay. So then we'll print after converting the tuple into array. So we have stored in a variable called as arr2. Okay, so then pass that arr2 as an argument. Then that prints the tuple converted into array. Okay, so this is the second way of converting list and tuple into array by using this NumPy module. So friends, hope you understood the two ways of converting a list and tuple into array. The first method is by using this array module, and the second method mechanism is by using this numpy module. Okay, so let us see the execution of these two programs. So open your browser. Okay, so then type online Python compiler, then open an online Python compiler. So here online Python IDE editor is there. So better you open that. So remove everything from this editor. Okay, so then type your program. So first we'll see the first program here. So import. So what we need to do, from array we need to import. So from array import array method. That means the meaning of this is from array module import the method called as a array. Okay, so then you can use the array method directly. Otherwise, you need to call the method by using the module name if you directly import only the module. Okay, so what we did first, we will read from the keyboard. So L is equals to, then I say list of map of then say int comma, then we call input function. So here we ask the user to enter list elements. So then we need to split the input into individual data members. Okay, so this splits and the map converts them into integer type, and finally the list converts that into a list, and the list will be stored in a variable called as a L. Similarly, we read a tuple from the keyboard. So T is equals to, then I say so here list L should be capital, and in tuple method name no. So we should use lowercase. Then I'll copy paste the remaining statement from the above one. Right. So this is how we can read a list and a tuple from the keyboard. Okay. So now I convert them into arrays. Okay. So first one is I convert them into array, and here the first argument should be lowercase I, comma, then L is the list name. Similarly, I convert the tuple into array. So here the second argument should be T here. Okay, so then we'll print the original one and original list. We'll print the original list here. Okay, so then comma, say L. Similarly, we'll print the original tuple also here. So then we print after converting the list into array. So where we have stored in a variable called as array1. Okay. So similarly, we'll print after converting the tuple into array. So where we have stored in a variable called as array2. Okay, so this is the program which we have written. Okay, so let us run the code here. So click on this run button. Now it is asking enter list elements. So I enter the list elements 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so then, okay, so we need to change that input function. Actually, it is enter tuple elements. Okay, so I'm just entering the tuple elements 9 and 10. Now you can see the output here. So original list is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After converting the list into array, now see how it is displayed. It displays it is an array of type integer I it says, and this is the array here. Okay, and similarly original tuple is this one, and after converting into array, now this is the array it has printed. Okay, so let me change this here. So this is enter tuple elements, so it should be tuple elements. Okay, so let me just run this once again so you can see the output clearly here, right? So enter list elements, say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now it says tuple elements, so 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 I am just entering. Now you can see here. Okay, so hope you got the concept here using the first method using array module. Okay, so then we'll write the second type by using a numpy module. So let me modify this program. Okay, so now here what I do is I'll import numpy as a np I say. Okay, so as we discussed here, instead of reading from the keyboard, if you want to learn how to initialize a list, that also we can see here. So I just remove these statements. Okay, so lst you can give same name, l also you can use. Okay, so lst is, now this time I take different numbers 11, 22, 33, 44, and 55. Okay, similarly for tuple also we can initialize this way. Okay, so here you can just use T or TP. Okay, so then you can initialize the tuple here. Okay, so it is something like say 66. But when you initialize a tuple or and list, you should take care the parenthesis here. Okay, so list will be contained inside square brackets and the tuple elements will be contained inside the parenthesis. Okay, so that's how the Python interpreter understands the group of elements as list and the group of elements as a tuple here. Okay, so it is 66, say 77, then I say 88, then I say 99. Okay, so then I say 100. So then I convert them into arrays using the array method. Okay, so this is list here. So I can use numpy np dot array lst. Similarly, here also np dot array, and just I pass. No need of this first argument in this case using a numpy module. Okay, so just pass the list name and tuple name as arguments here. Okay, so original list will print here. So whose name is LST here. And after converting it is array1 as it is. And original tuple name is TP here. And after converting that name is array2 only. Okay. So again we run the code. So I just move this screen, this window up so that you can see the, now you can see here. So original list, because we have already initialized the values, already it is displaying original list as 11, 22, 33, 55, 44, 55. Then after converting into array, now see how it is displayed. The numpy module array method, see it has displayed 11, 22, 33, 44, and 55 without any commas. Okay, so it has displayed the array element. Similarly, original tuple, it has displayed 66, 77, 88, 99, and 100. So after converting the tuple into array, now you can see here 66, 77, 88, 99, and 100. So friends, this way we can convert a tuple and list into an array using two mechanisms. So hope you understood. If you have any doubts, please leave your doubt in the comment section. So thank you. Thank you one and all.